Where?
As we get ready for the next hearing of the January 6th investigation tomorrow, we'll have a primetime recap of that tomorrow night here at 8 p.m. Eastern here on MSNBC. The consequences of former President Trump's claims that he won't respect election results, the consequences of that continue to be felt all around the country, just all over the place. The latest, weirdest consequence of that is happening right now in the great state of New Mexico, where in one county, the 3 Republican county commissioners are refusing to certify the election results in their county from this month's primaries. The commissioners haven't raised any actual concerns about anything going wrong in those elections. They just don't want to certify the election results because they don't feel good about it. New Mexico's Secretary of State stepped in and brought a lawsuit to the state Supreme Court yesterday. Today, the state Supreme Court ordered those county commissioners that they need to certify the election results by Friday. One of the commissioners has already suggested that she'll laugh off any such order from a court, saying, what, you going to put me in prison? The question is, what does happen if they continue to refuse to obey the state Supreme Court? And what happens to the votes of all those people who voted in New Mexico? Joining us now is New Mexico's Secretary of State, Maggie Toulouse Oliver. Madam Secretary, thank you very much for your time tonight. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Oh, I'm happy to be here, Rachel. Thank you.
Have I explained any of this wrong? I am a little bit new to this story. I've been reading local coverage, and that's pretty much how I understand it. But tell me if I've missed out anything important.
No, it's a very cut and dried situation. There is a mandatory duty that the county commission has to review the results, the report from the county clerk from our primary election last week. You know, they're welcome to ask questions. There's even some limited authority for them to, bring in a precinct board, ask them questions if there's any concerns about the accuracy of the results. Of course, they've chosen to do none of that. And they based their unlawful action not to certify the election on, as you, I think, have accurately summarized, their feelings about the election machines. And that is not within the context of the law, within the scope of their authority. And quite frankly, I think what we're looking at is a concern for a breakdown of our democracy and a breakdown of the process moving forward if they don't do the right thing and what the Supreme Court has ordered them to do.
So the Supreme Court has ordered them to certify these election results. We don't yet know what the response from the commissioners will be to that. I will note that you raised the prospect in the press release announcing that you were taking this writ to the Supreme Court over this matter. You raised the prospect that there could potentially be a criminal referral to the state attorney general's office in terms of these county commissioners violating their oaths of office. When one of these commissioners sort of laughed off the prospect of complying with a court order here, saying, what are you going to do, put me in prison? I think she thought that was a ridiculous prospect, but it sounds like that might not be a ridiculous prospect.
I don't think it is ridiculous. We are making that referral to the Attorney General. This commission has taken a number of unlawful actions over the course of the last couple of weeks. They took a vote, which is ultimately symbolic, but to ban the state certified voting systems in their county. They took a vote to remove certified monitored containers to receive absentee ballots or mail-in ballots, which is also counter to state law. And then they ordered or were attempting to order a hand recount of the results. And none of those are provided for in state law. Now, mind you, the irony of this entire situation is that if they certify the results, there are a number of processes that can then take place, and particularly for candidates who may have questions about the outcome of the election. We can undertake recounts, we can undertake rechecks of the voting system, but unless and until this commission in their capacity as the canvassing board does their mandatory duty, we can't do any of that. And so we have made that referral, or we're going to be making that referral shortly. And quite frankly, criminal prosecution is on the list, as well as removal from office for these commissioners who are violating the law.
Wow. New Mexico Secretary of State Maggie Toulouse Oliver, I'm sure you never anticipated your duties as Secretary of State requiring this kind of action, but here you are. Thank you very much for helping us understand it tonight. Please stay in touch with us about this story as it moves forward.
Indeed. Thank you, Rachel.
All right. We'll be right back. Stay with us.